three.
Three-man temple gonna be rough.
Three-man temple's gonna be rough, but your friends have abandoned you, so here we are. Alright.
Here we go!
The TV, gentlemen, is on. The headline is revealed, and our first recap scene begins. We see an overhead shot of the party, camping out in a massive hollowed-out tree trunk recently fallen from the storm the day before. The wilds being fended off for the moment by the thin, layered corpse of this once great cedar tree. We cut to early morning as we see the party help piece together the shattered remains of their canoe collected from the battlefield the night before. We see the mending magic pour from Valfine's hands as the pieces slowly stitch back into the party's painted vessel. The paint still missing in patches as the spell itself is unable to replicate the previous artistry. It shows as a blank scar on the bottom of the boat, a constant reminder of what was truly lost the night before. We cut to a straight shot, looking right at Iku at the bow of the boat. As she looks over the side at the dark river water, our camera pans to the side to reveal the rest of the party behind her. War paddling in the back, and Alexandria casting a spell to manipulate the water around the canoe. The rougher waves and current cut away to form a still pool of water surrounding the boat. What water does move pushes the boat steadily forward in its favor. As she concentrates, we see the seasick Asteria behind her turn green and heave over the starboard side. We see Valfine standing with Iku, keeping a careful watch at the coastline as her gaze is drawn to a lurking shadow in the water below them. She shouts a warning, and the party has just enough time to prepare their weapons as a scaled terror, a giant crocodile, bursts from the water, tossing several party members from the boat. Biting and gnashing, it manages to grab hold of Iku with its giant maw and begin devouring her. The rest that were in the water manage to escape to the shore as they see Iku surprisingly change her form and do the same from the crocodile's maw. We see a spell blast from the recently revived Alexandria's hands and into the water just off the shore, tossing the beast away. We cut to see a shot through the eyes of a raptor as it penetrates the dense jungle, breaking to the shoreline where we see our heroes. This is all in red, and immediately leap upon the croc's back and let out a fury of claws and bites of its own. We see the beast, the crocodile, slain as War's axe buries into its gullet, and the many supporting shots fire from the shoreline, riddling its back with ice arrows and holy flames. We see a showdown shot of this raptor at one side of the canoe and War standing protectively in front of Asteria on the other. The music... Hello, welcome.
Kyle.
The music peaks, and then we see the raptor transform into a burly, bearded albino dwarf, a friend and ally of Iku's, Brolin Fireforge, brother to Musharib, a dwarf guide that the party had met before in the bathhouse of Port Nyanzaru. After some surprise and a bit of playful berating from Iku on the part of the Fireforge brothers having their nose where they ought not to, Brolin was then accepted as an ally to the group. The many dangers of the jungle are apparent, and what friends you can make among their endless perils are few. Never look a gift raptor in the mouth, I always say. We see a shot of the party camping near the shore of the river Soshenstar as they get to know their new party member better. And the next day, with a quick succession, series of shots, like boom, boom, like on every different kind of skin tone, like you got turtle, you got human, of everyone applying a fresh coat of insect repellent and the group being on their way. So if this was like a Wes Anderson movie, we'd just see every day, just like the insect repellent salve goes on. We cut to a gray, smoky shot as we see the mists of Chult break for just a moment to reveal our party's slow pace through the shrouded river. An eerie calm follows them as they silently cut through the fog, but their travel goes unhindered. We then see that last shot from our last episode, the canoe settling up on the shore as Iku, with her keen eyes, rushes off the boat and dives into the mist on land, out of sight, and we hear Valfine call out to her. We see that shot from behind the party as they pull the canoe fully on shore, that big establishing shot as it pans out. The mist breaks to reveal a huge structure, a jungle-worn temple with two great monkey statues, winged, standing at its entrance, and monkey motifs and other statues decorating its sides, its rooftop, and its base. The sun strikes in at just the right place to reveal all the hidden details of this once beautiful temple of Ubtao before it crests under the horizon and we've truly reached that sort of dusky evening where there's still a little bit of light left. And that's where our screen goes dark. We see our title screen for the episode go across, and we open up right where we left off, guys, with everyone in the party, but Alexandria and Valfine making their way up the temple's stairs. I believe that Dustin isn't here. He might be late. I don't know if he responded to me. Yeah, he'll be here at 9:30, so he will not be joining us until then. Okay. Making his triumphant entrance, I imagine, when you guys most need it.
So that's how he plans to stay alive.
It didn't work very good last time.
I'll just show up late every time. Yeah, that's his big plan. All right. So,
the only note I have from last time is that we haven't consumed insect repellent for the 5th day.
So we should do that if you guys haven't done that already.
Because we talked about doing that at the beginning of the day, and I think we forgot about it.
Yeah, everybody spend an insect repellent salve. One charge, one use of that, because I do remember that we did forget because I had watched the last video. And
yeah.
It seemed as though we had forgotten. That will happen. All right.
Cool.
Everybody got that marked?
So we'll spend one salve?
Yep, one salve use.
Where did I put it?
It's on your...
Oh, I got it. If the title was too long, it cuts off at the right side.
It's all good.
Okay.
Kyle, you get yours.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So, I would like everyone to roll initiative. This is a role-play initiative, but we will be using it if combat somehow happens. But I want to know what we're doing, each individual, pace by pace. Chris Perkins does this a lot, and I'm going to give this a shot. So everybody roll an initiative so we can see who's acting and when. It's a very free environment to speak, but when actually doing something, I just want to know who to call upon.
Crap.
Literally reverse order when we rolled.
You'll also notice that you'll get a few input values that pop up with all your stuff.
Yeah.
It'll ask you if you want it whispered, and it'll ask you if it's advantage or disadvantage. They both start out as default, but that's to help you guys for if you ever want to whisper a roll to me. Josh, you remember when you couldn't do that one time we were in whisper. So
whisper roll, yeah.
Yeah, now you guys have the option, but they start with public rules. So,
I did not get an advantage disadvantage one.
I don't know if you would for
initiative.
Yeah, I'm not sure you would for initiative. So. You actually have to check mark something because I only think one ability gives you that.
Yeah.
Like a feature that's probably on the sheet.
Yep.
All right, so you guys can see the map.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Kyle, is your camera on? I'm just getting black.
Oh yeah, I had to unplug it because there was no way I could get the software to understand that. Okay. My mic is not my camera.
Oh, okay.
That's what happened last time, yeah.
Yeah, that has not been fixed yet.
So you're going out without this time? Cool.
Yeah, I guess.
That's fine.
So,
do you use Chrome?
I do.
You might be able to force it in Chrome to use in the media settings.
Yeah, it's got it unplugged right now. I don't want to have him mess with it. We can check it out at the break if we want to. I'm good hearing Kyle's lovely voice. It's so seductive. So Iku is the first to act. She steps further inside the temple, but as she takes her first step, you hear of her audibly gasp and take a step back further into the temple. But she seems to be avoiding something, like moving away, and she just visibly gasps and looks down. And I think those who are close to her on the stairs can see as she stops a ways in and kneels down, like gets slowly down on the ground and like gets close to something on the floor. Valoria, what are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna hold my action.
All right, you're holding Valfine.
What's the lighting look like in here?
Outside right now, it's like I said before, where we still have some dim light left. The mist is definitely darkening it. Inside the chamber, from what you can see that there is some light from within the chamber, but it looks as though there was a hole blown through on the other side, an opening directly across that is pouring some light in. But other than that, the chamber itself is pretty large, and it's just very, very dark.
Can I scout for anything living?
Yeah, you want to make a perception check?
I would love to.
Yeah, go for it. And yeah, go ahead and whisper it to just me.
Oh. Okay, so from my character sheet, if I'm gonna whisper something to you.
Yeah. So
do
just,
that.
all you gotta do is click on the perception. You'll get an input value that'll ask you if you want it to be a public roll or a GM roll.
Oh, gotcha. So every roll we do.
Every roll will have this pop up, even your damage and everything. So, okay, cool. Yeah, don't share that with anybody. But you don't see anything around you right now. It seems like a pretty calm place. As far as you can tell, other than your companions, it doesn't seem to be any other living things. I think you can here, I think maybe across the top of the temple, you might see one or two smaller monkeys crawl across, just sort of natural animals within the area, and you can hear them around you. But the jungle's always sort of populated with these creatures.
Okay.
Anything else? You're just basically looking around. I think that's good.
All right.
Asteria.
I guess I'm gonna step up next to Iku and take a look at whatever the hell she's looking at.
All right, yeah, you step into the chamber. War, you're right after. Are you doing something similar?
Yeah.
Okay, that way I can kind of combine you guys together a little bit. Go ahead and
without
place yourself.
stepping on that line, I will be here.
You'll be right there. Okay, so yeah, you guys enter into the chamber. You see what Hiku had gasped about is kneeling on the floor right now, getting close. She's getting as close as she can, but she's just trying to look at this symbolism on the floor. The first thing you notice, and let me just check on sight here. War can barely see it.
Yeah.
I believe Asteria, you have a good sight in here as well as Iku. This chamber has a massive central level to it, a dais, I think the word is, platform. There are stairs leading up to it on all sides, and at the very top of it is a shrine or some sort of altar. And then atop the altar itself is what looks to be a large bowl, an adorned bowl with these beautiful symbols sort of painted into the side of it. War, it's a little more difficult for you to see that portion, but Hysteria might be explaining some of this to you. A massive statue dominates the western side of the temple. It is of a huge monkey, ordained in this armor and holding a staff and looking looking sort of down at the altar, down towards the bowl, with a very inquisitive look and a smile that's carved very well into their face. It looks almost it's very natural. Whoever carved this statue is very, very good at their craft. But it's just got this sly monkey face, like a hand grasping a stringy beard and looking down. There are a few pillars in the room. You also see damage in the back, as I described before. That's probably where your eyes might go, War, because it's light.
Yeah.
And you can smell, War, you smell a corpse. Asteria and Iku, you see one. Laying right in front of the altar, what looks to be face down is a leather armored individual, a male human who has been picked apart. You can tell, picked in quite a few places, missing a few fingers. There's a level of rot here, and sort of spilled all around him are silver coins, and they kind of bounce their way down the stairs that he's like halfway down. And yeah, this corpse is just sitting here rotting, and it definitely smells up the place. But dominating the room, the thing you would notice first, the thing Iku gasps at, is this painting, this bright red painting just covering the floor of the room. It is a massive maze. It's just a painting on the floor. It's mostly red, and then like the parts of the maze are like unpainted, and it's just these lines, and there's hundreds of them, and they go in all different directions, all around the temple. And she's just sort of getting close nearby to it, kind of just looking at it. And since we're like going through these turns, and these are you guys mostly looking in, Iku will look up at Asterian War, and says, "A maze of Ubtao. Its paint is..." And she just gets really close and just touches it a little bit. She says, "Almost pristine." She says, "This place is blessed. Holy ground."
When you
what's up? What's War say?
To EQ, he'd say, when you said follow the mazes, do you think that's a literal interpretation?
She says, "It is the way of Ubtao."
Be careful where you step.
It is common within his temples to hold shrines like this, but I've never seen one of this size. Many monks would meditate and follow the mazes that Ubtao had painted for them. And this is a gigantic one.
You said there was a body?
She says, "Yes, it's quite foul. I don't know how long dead, but he's up on the altar. I don't know what he had done."
Can you see anything about the cause of death from here?
I would have Asteria make a perception check. I'll have you could do the same. So roll it to me, please. Thank you. Let me do her. Oh yeah. Asteria, you see that he looks. You don't actually. Something you would notice would be that it doesn't look as though he's bled out or anything. There doesn't seem to be any blood at all. You're imagining however he died had to have been internal damage. Like there's no blood. He doesn't look cut up or anything. Iku will say, "It looks as though he's broken, or was broken." Valoria and Valfine in the back, starting with Valoria. What are you guys doing? You see your friends entering in. You hear them talking. It's easy. Their voices echo out. The conversation is easily heard.
So, do these temples have protective measures? I'm gonna walk up the stairs now.
You direct that at Iku?
To the air, because apparently War is also a follower of this guy to some extent. So.
Okay.
I don't know much about it, but that is what I'm suspecting might have happened to the body in there.
I've never known
I think he stole from the temple.
So, Iku says, "I've never known the shrines of Ubtao to be aggressive. They are normally places of worship, but there are many hidden places and many different worshippers of Ubtao. This place could be protected. It is hallowed ground. This paint is pristine. It's It has not peeled and or worn from the jungle. It is a authentic temple.
From what I can see of the curve, does it look like a circle?
Yeah, Iku would confirm that it is a full circle. Valfine, what are you doing? You're kind of alone out here in the mists. Your friends have all kind of stepped close, but Valoria's still outside, but you're out here by yourself for the most part. It's just the jungle, it's just the mist. You hear a little, some little creatures out in the distance.
Your dwarven friend became a tree a few yards back. It's okay.
No, he is one of the monkeys now.
He is a monkey.
It wasn't before. Oh.
I think you find that you have no. We're sticking with they fade into the distance. I'm not. He's not here. Well, would you like to do? Stand here?
Can I approach one of these statues and see if is there anything like? Do the statues move? Are they stationary? Is there any signs of somebody moving these or?
Do you want to just look at them, or do you want to actually investigate, get your hands on there?
I can investigate them.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and move yourself up towards them, and then you can make an investigation check. Whisper it to me.
I would also be interested in making a check to investigate the temple.
Ooh, investigate the temple. Cool. All right, I'm gonna have you do that, Valeria, since you just moved and walked. I'll come back to you in a second.
Yeah.
You look them sort of up and down. You investigate. It is like very immaculately carved stone, like well carved, still worn pretty bad by the by just sort of the jungle itself and it being here for however long. It's old stone, could even be ancient. They're solid all the way through. Definitely rock. Not moving, not organic to your touch. Valoria, you wanted to make a roll. Go ahead and make that. Valfine, any thoughts?
Not really.
Not really.
She can hear the voices of the party, so she's not too worried about.
They're big. I mean, they're intimidating statues. They're very large in their carving. Valoria, make sure. Yeah, thank you for whispering that to me. They're intimidating statues, but I mean they're solid. Okay, Alexander, you're just sort of are pondering about this temple, trying to assess your knowledge, see if you rack your mind, see if you know anything.
Well, using what I already know about religious orders and temples and places of worship, I'm trying to suss out anything noteworthy about the temple or the god that might reveal the purpose of the temple or any kind of religious wardings or protections that might be in effect here.
I would say, with what you've given me here, you can confirm that. You can confirm Iku's words. This is definitely hollowed ground. You can feel that sort of as you step upon the stairs. As far as meanings and purpose, you're able to see fairly well in here as well, Alexander. Actually, that might even kind of tousle you a little bit. You don't normally see this well in the dark, I don't think.
No.
You're able to see very clearly, and I think you might just sort of rack it up to there being enough light pouring in from the cracks and the damage in this place that you're able to see very well. But you can see it with the way the temple is built. It is built in a very similar fashion to what you would assume to be a shrine of offering, just in the way this altar is set up with this bowl. It's too high up. The platform here is about 10 feet. You have no idea what's in the bowl, but you can see the corpse on the stairs and all the coins, so you can take a guess what might be in that bowl. But that's all the knowledge I think you can pry.
Okay.
War. Oh, sorry, Asteria, I skipped you.
I am gonna look for the entrance to the maze.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I was gonna suggest.
Make an investigation check. to. You can just make that out in the open. I'm cool with that. All right. Yeah, you do find the entrance to the maze. Let me just move you. You make your way up here, back behind Iku, and behind this pillar, and you find the entrance to the maze. A starting point where the line cuts in the paint and moves over. Over towards you, an opening, effectively. Would you like to do anything else?
Then I guess I start trying to navigate the maze, because...
All right.
Why not?
Cool, yeah. You guys see Asteria kind of disappear behind this pillar. Asteria, I would like you to make a roll for me. And you can make it in the open. I'll tell you what kind of roll that will be here. Just a second. Let me get my info, my important info. Okay, here we go. Yes. Make a intelligence or wisdom based check. And it has to be a skill, either intelligence or wisdom based. And you have to tell me how you're using it to traverse the maze. It can just be a base. If you can't pick one, you can just make a base stat.
I think I'm gonna use investigate to, since it's a painted maze, I can look around my feet and actually figure out where the best way to go is.
All right, yeah, you can roll that in the open, and then we'll move on to war.
Ooh, that was a bad roll.
All right. You step into the maze and you start to realize just how complex it is. You are able to enter this square and begin the maze. You are in it, but you are understanding its level of complexity quite quickly. So I will allow you in this first square. You don't get thrown out. It is war. War, what would you like to do?
I can't see very well. Does anyone have some light?
Oh yeah. Does anyone?
Oh, I should probably have dealt with that too.
Did you want to cast?
Yeah,
spell?
I'll cast light on myself
Can
too.
you give me the size of that?
Yeah, 1 second.
400 feet.
20 foot bright, 20 foot dim.
Close enough.
All right, that should lighten up for you. Yeah, you see Asteria's light.
Oh, that killed my
door
dark vision.
open. It did, unfortunately. I will actually change it then to. I believe this is going to be crap. I don't know which one's dim. This is dim. Yeah, I'll pump your. No, because that's going to give everybody else that. Unfortunately, it will kill your dark vision.
Oh, that's fine. I can see right around me.
Cool.
It just I don't have the 20 foot dim
Okay.
at all.
You don't have the 20 foot dim at all. You should, because I put 20 and 20 in. It's just a little bit of dim. That this is technically I plugged it in. 20 foot.
Oh, that's fine.
And 20 foot dim. All right. You can see a good portion, and war. You see this light peel across, and you can see more details of the room and then the beauty itself. See what you can see. Yeah.
So
the maze is elaborate. I think like as that light hits, you see all the lines.
I'm gonna make a roll for myself, I guess, or I should.
You can make it in
I
private.
should
if you
ask
want.
you. Yeah. I'm trying to see if War knows as much as I know about mazes.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you can roll it in private or in the open. It's up to you.
Yeah, you have the new PMDM thing, right?
Yep. And you just click the skill, and it should be able to. You have a suggestion to. It'll ask you for a public roll or.
Oh, that yeah, okay. What would that be? Intelligence or wisdom?
Oh, then yeah. If you want a PMDM, that is an actual button.
Yeah.
That's for actually messaging me. There's a new token action for messaging me if you want
Ooh.
to actually message me. But if you want to roll anything, Jacob, all you have to do is click a skill. It'll ask you.
Yeah. Actually, I have a kind of story reason why War might know this.
Okay.
From, like, if he's heard of Ubtao before,
Yeah.
and that's like a thing that he knows about a little bit, that could be a reason that he would know how to traverse mazes.
Yeah, make it with advantage.
Okay. So what one?
I like that you're pulling your background in.
Yeah, do the left-handed rule on your maze.
Should I do? Yeah, that's essentially what I was trying to get to. Intelligence or wisdom? Would you
for
think?
This, it could be either, whichever one you would like.
All right. Do this. Yeah, there we go. Whew.
Very nice.
All right.
You're trying to gather the knowledge. Are you trying to step into the maze, or are you just trying to gather the knowledge to like see if you can come up with any?
Yeah, it would be the knowledge that I, as a player, know about mazes, of like how to traverse them well.
How to traverse them well. How to traverse them well. Let me think. I think that you remember the doctrine of Ubtao, the one that Iku spoke to you of, and the one that related very similarly to the stories you heard of as a child, of taking the path of least resistance, relaxing, allowing yourself to come to a dead end, turn around and make a more calculated decision, and to avoid frustration. The walking through a maze is supposed to be something more peaceful, something that is supposed to bring you clarity and allow you to meditate. It's not a frustrating challenge to be conquered. It is something to discover within oneself.
Okay. I guess with that, War would start probably making his way towards the entrance as well.
Okay.
Also saying aloud, like, following the mazes is a way to meditate for yourself. A trick may be always following the left wall, but the time it gives you is a time to self-reflect.
Nice. I think Iku nods her head. She says, yes, follow the mazes. And on her turn, you walk up, you want to get behind Asteria, like get next in line in the maze?
Yeah.
Alright, put you up there. Iku steps back and sits down. She sort of pulls her skirt up under her legs, pulls her knees close to her chest, sets her staff on the ground, and watches. Valoria.
I'm trying to figure out if this is something Valoria would entertain.
You see super clearly in here. You might think it has something to do with that hallowed ground, Valoria, but go ahead.
I think she is going to stand beside Iku and watch. Though she's probably going to talk to her at some point.
What would you say to her?
I think she would just notice that she's sitting here and find it odd that we're in a temple to a god she is so devoted to, yet she is backed herself into a corner and tucked her knees up to her chest like she's not comfortable.
She does look comfortable. I will say I'll retcon if it sounded that I said that she does look comfortable, but she looks just interested. But she has sort of secluded herself into this corner there. That is odd. She doesn't look uncomfortable though. She looks attentive and interested. She seems excited to watch your companions go through this maze. What did you want to say to her?
I think what she would say after a few moments of watching her companions meander about in odd ways, she would look at Iku and spend a few moments studying her expressions before inquiring. why she isn't walking this maze herself.
Oh yeah, she will look up at you, and she'll say, "Oh, that is an interesting question. I have never walked a maze of Ubtao. I'm afraid I'm terribly bad at mazes. I enjoy the doctrine. I agree wholeheartedly with it. But I find that I don't do well. I'm better at watching others."
I'm going to take that moment to reflect quickly on where do I feel the hallowed ground is, and is it contained in the maze or is it the building?
It's the building.
Okay.
It is the building, for sure. Is there anything else you want to say to her before I move on to Valky?
No, I think Gloria is just going to start staring into space.
Okay. Valphine, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna come up to the top of the stairs.
Okay, yeah, you get that whiff of death, that corpse smell. Oh, it's not good. Your elf eyes allow you to see much of the room clearly. You see the corpse on the stairs. You see the altar and the beautiful pottery, the bowl, the carved bowl with all the different art images on it. At the very top, you see the coins under the dead man. You sprawled across the stairs and onto the floor. You see the massive maze, the painted maze in the center of the room, and you see the huge statue of this elder monkey, this armored elder monkey with this tall, thin beard and a spear in one hand, looking down with just a cocked smile.
Oh, well, I don't like this.
No, do you do anything? Do you just stay
Can I see War and Hysteria?
You can see Asteria and War, just sort of, War's shell, the back of his shell on the one side of this pillar. You see Asteria just sort of starting to walk the maze. You can see like she's like standing on one foot, getting ready to find like her next place to step on the other side of the pillar. They're both on either side here.
Can I look at this maze and see if maybe I've seen it in a book somewhere?
Yeah.
And whether or not we should be walking in it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it like can I check history? Like maybe I've...
Yeah, you can totally do that. Please, absolutely. This is Asteria's actual range of light. So everyone should see a lot more. Thank you, Alex, for sending me that. Yeah, you can personal message me a history if you want, to see if you know, or this one doesn't have to be secret. It's not something that the party's gonna need. Like it's okay if they don't. So you can do that one in public. Oh boy. Yeah, you have like one of those books on you, I imagine. Yeah, you pour your way through the books and you see, I think, one of like your old like pre-Omnian Empire book of Chult, and you pour through, and I think you're like, I remember a page, and you flip over and you see this set page of these different mazes, these different holy symbols of Ubtao, and you're looking like back and forth at which one this one is. There's a lot to survey. But make a base intelligence check. The history check, I think, is for you to be able to pull open this book and remember the page where it is. But give me a base intelligence, so just hit the intelligence skill. I want to see if you can line up which maze this might be. Yeah, intelligence. You're just like, oh man, like it's so hard. I think you have to like survey your way around the maze, try to get the best angles from where you're standing. Yeah, you cannot match it up, but you have like it's like 2 full pages of just maze symbols, all different kinds. Some of them like terribly simple, and others just horribly complex.
I don't have a good feeling about this, but I can't put my finger on it. Why?
I don't know. Asteria, are we moving through this maze?
Maybe it's the
Oh
dead
yeah,
guy.
trying to.
Maybe it's the dead guy.
Wisdom or intelligence base. If you want to keep using investigation, you can.
Yeah, it seems like the best choice for me.
Sounds good. Yeah, the paint goes all the way up the stairs.
There we
Holy
go.
moly, yeah.
Oh!
You take a step, you wonder, you take a step and you wonder to yourself for a moment, like, wait a minute. No, it's this way. Always this way. Always left. Like you just remember, like something clicks in your head, and you're like, wait a minute. And because I think you like took a moment to like survey your path ahead of you, and you just move. Go ahead and place yourself 2 squares in any direction in front of you. And you just start burning through this maze. And I think Iku, her feet slide down a little bit from her chest, and she just looks, and she just sees Asteria just move forward. Look at her go. And yeah, Asteria, you are pushing forward. Absolutely. War.
Asteria having gone left, War's gonna go right, and then just hug the right wall the entire time, and just walk.
try to do that. All right. Make a roll. It can be intelligence based or wisdom based, and you have to tell me how it makes sense to what you're doing. Investigation or perception or your base, really easy ones.
Alrighty. He's gonna do insight because
Ooh.
he's going to spend this time kind of thinking in his head about his ancestry and why he would be tied to this, while he's also just following a line on the ground.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll that for me, and we'll see how you do in this first square. All right, you are able to step into the first square. You can move yourself forward. You begin your travel through the maze, and I think like you're trying to remember your family's history a little bit. And I think when you begin stepping in here, you're kind of wondering maybe even what it's going to be like. Like this is holy ground. This is a holy symbol, an official holy symbol of Ubtao, and you start to feel that meditation sort of sink in a little bit, even with your first steps, and you're starting to realize like why they did this. Like it is calming in a way. I like that. Absolutely. Iku will look over to Valoria. Why do you not walk the maze?
She blinks as she stares straight ahead, not quite hearing the whole question, and coming back to it in the middle of her sentence. I don't know. I don't feel an attraction to it.
She says, well, I think that's understandable. He is a dead god. There's little left of him here. Though this place is hallowed ground, it's more like a breath of Ubtao still lingering. A piece of him left behind, but I imagine it will not stay for much longer.
Can he really be a dead god?
Dead or lost, one or the other. He left this place a long time ago.
If Forgotten Realms has taught us anything, gods can die.
I mean, there's no confirmation on Ubtao being dead. He simply abandoned Chult, and all of his any clerics or magic or worshippers that disappeared with him. Anything else you'd like to do, Valoria? Iku's speaking to you after she asked you that. Do you continue to stare?
Yeah, mainly because upon reflecting on the amount of lines there are in the ground and dipping into character, me knowledge a little bit and realizing my investigation is not that great.
Yeah, the maze is beyond. I think Iku might have a similar feeling to you. Like the maze is very complicated. And she has not yet tapped into that, being able to like meditate your way through it. You imagine Iku's tried a maze before and just gotten angry.
Preferably, I would. She thinks for a moment. I'd prefer to fly over.
And Ika would say, she says, well, many do, as they do in life. I think that has something to say about your character. Not in a negative way. I think...
Bitch, you trying to start shit?
says Ubtao's doctrine is to walk the mazes of life. There are some who do not hold that level of patience, and they become great people in the world.
Well, you almost get eaten by enough salty crocodiles, and your patience for life gets pretty thin.
She says, I think I understand where you're coming from. Valfine. Doing anything else, Valfine? You found the page.
No.
You just can't match it up. This is a super big, like, complicated one. There's a couple of them in that book.
So she's gonna move down here, get another angle on it, and maybe try and line it up again.
Do you cross the maze?
Mm,
Or do
it
you
looks
go
like
out and around?
Can I move out and around, out and around?
Okay, out and around. Yeah, you don't step into the... Yeah, tell me if
No.
you're stepping in.
Valvine is very cautious of red paint that looks fresh on the floor in a strange shape.
I got you. You're coming to a different angle. You want to make another roll?
Yeah, I'd like to. Intelligence, you said?
Yeah. Yeah, just intelligence save. Or, yeah, that's fine. Intelligence save 10. You got it narrowed down to 2 different mazes, but you're just not sure which one is which. You're pretty confident it's the one on the left side of the page, but there's parts of it on the right that matches well, and the left side of the page one is like you don't have every angle. You imagine if you got to the other side of the room, you might be able to completely confirm. You need to get like a full 360, like you've gotten from this point of view, maybe one more, and you'll be able to match it up.
Okay.
Did you want to start heading in that direction? I think
Yeah.
I think getting where you are now took your full movement, so for the most part.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys see Valfine circling around. She has this book. She's pouring through. I think it's easy for anyone to see that she's on this one page and she just keeps flipping back and forth, like trying to match it up. Asteria, continuing your journey. Is Asteria looking at this as a challenge, as something for her to intellectually conquer, complete, or is she looking at this more in that meditative sense that Iku was talking about? Alex?
Oh, sorry, I dazed out a little bit.
Oh no, you're cool. So I'm asking if you are ready to move on to to continue your journey through the maze.
Yes, I am.
And I wanted to know if Asteria is going about this maze in the way of an intellectual to try to conquer the challenge. Oh, and like, no, I'm smarter than this. Or are you going about it in the way Iku was sort of talking about in the doctrine of Ubtao, to take it step by step and let the meditative process teach you something?
I am going sort of down the middle and trying to go ask my guide for help.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Going with a couple of gut decisions here, gut choices. I like that. Asking for some divine backup if you can. Go ahead and roll with advantage for that, since you're talking with him. Very nice. Yeah, you're able to move one more square forward in a direction that you'd like to go. Very cool. You've gone... Yeah, okay. Cool. Just want to know where you are. War.
So as he's walking, he's kind of gonna put himself into a bit of like a trance state.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And let like his instincts take over, and then in that way try to use survival to get through the maze.
Ooh, yeah, go ahead and roll survival on this one. Nice. Nice. Yeah, you are able to move another square forward. You are almost all the way up the steps as you allow your wisdom, your survival skills to travel through. Make a perception
When you
check.
say go forward, is it like I'm following the maze
You're following
up
the
to the
maze,
point where it would take me there?
You basically by move forward. You can move a square in a direction of your choice. The maze is not going to move you against your will. If you would to fail this mechanically, we would be rolling for a random direction that you would be going, that you would end at.
Okay.
So you get to move in a square in a direction that you want to go. The DC increases the deeper you get into the maze.
Okay. So I don't have to actually follow this around this way.
No, you don't have to follow the real maze. You don't have to follow the real maze. I should have mentioned at the beginning. No, you don't have to follow this real maze. This is just a square. This is just to show the area.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing about the maze that's true is its true opening, which is up here.
Yep.
Yeah, you're able to move forward. Make a perception check really quick.
Do you want it private?
Yeah. Okay. What's up?
I was gonna ask if I'm picking up anything passively at 16.
Passively at 16, you're very focused on the mazes right now. I think you have most of your concentration from what I understood last turn. I'd give you a perception check when your turn comes up if you like to turn in that direction, but because that's what you're focusing on, that's what I'm going to give you. Valoria, what's your passive perception since you are zoning off? You didn't assign yourself to anything. I want to know.
12.
12. Okay, cool. War, at the very top of the statue, on the top of the head, you see a strange creature, and you hear a noise. You're the only one to hear it. You hear just this tick, 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 and just this clicking sound, just this. And you look up. You're wondering where it's coming from. It's kind of disturbing your vision quest on this maze. And you look to the very top of the statue, and you see the weirdest thing you've probably seen while here. A tiny little man made entirely of shadow. He wears a mask of white bone decorated to look like a dinosaur, a little T-Rex. And he carries a tiny twig at his side. And he's sitting, legs sort of sprawled on the top of this monkey head, looking at you through these two little dark portals. This little man is no bigger than about this, and you just see his little head just twist back and forth, just sort of looking at you.
Or says, "We are being watched from the top of the statue," out loud, as trying to stay calm but let everyone know.
Does everybody look to the top of the statue?
I fire everything.
Fire. Do you cast a spell?
I don't even know where it is.
He said to the top of the statue.
I know, but I'm assuming I have to roll to see it.
Yeah, everybody turns to look. I mean, he's pointing in that direction, and with Asteria's light, it's the statue's visible within her light. The shadows are kind of cast across him, and you all look in that direction, and you see nothing. And War, you blink, and you see nothing.
I think you might be meditating too hard.
Maybe
There's nothing there.
I may have been seeing things.
Possibly. Iku will stand up and call out, "Asteria, you're almost there. Be careful. It will get more difficult the deeper you get in." And she says, "I wouldn't disturb the body either. We don't know if it's undead." And Valoria, did you want to do anything?
Yeah, I think she's gonna do it. This is really stupid, but we're
Just
gonna
do it.
Oh, shit.
Do what you think your character would do here.
I think.
Okay, where are you casting that at?
The body.
The body. All right, you guys hear just that spell rip across, and that blue light kind of light up the area through the near Asteria, even more so than her radiant light, and it hits the body, and it tumbles over and spills down onto the floor. You hear the clinging of the coins as they clatter and are disturbed, and the body rolls right next to you, Valfine, and on the floor, and it rolls all the way over and lands straight up, and you just see this half rotted corpse, this part skull, part purple flesh. Bugs are just sort of being disturbed, crawling out of it, and it's just dead. It doesn't make a sound at all, and it just turns over and just this dead corpse right next to you.
Valoria, what are you doing?
Oh, Alexandria is how the name you would know her.
Alexandria.
I close the tome that I use to cast my spells in a very, very affirming way. And
Iku's just like got a hand out in your direction, just like so she like lets out a breath. Just what do you say anything?
well, it's not undead.
Oh, that is evident. Yes, it's not. Says, be a little more careful, or at least warn me first. You almost scared. Oh, you almost scared me very badly.
Well, it's me.
We have the advantage of quiet here. I don't think that's a very good idea.
To be perfectly frank, I intended to prod it, not blast it, but
The
I think
coins
I
are
wasn't
still
paying enough
rolling.
attention.
The coins are still rolling for sure. Did you roll damage on that too? You can go ahead and roll damage on that, and
Oh,
PM it to me.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that happened. And it rolls onto the floor right next to you. It's quite disgusting. Valfine, what would you like to do?
Just gonna cringe at the smell. It's gotta be disgusting.
Oh yeah, you get that
A
fresh
human
odor.
jungle corpse.
Yeah, you get that fresh odor. It's bad. You see his leather armor, and you can see. Actually, make a perception check if you look down at him. And make it to me, just to me.
While he's rolling that, is it all right for me to move over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, you can make your way around and get over there. Yeah, you see the body in more detail. His chest has been pressed in. It's concave, as if something massive smashed him. Most of his bones, his collarbone is shattered. Part of his jaw is just broken back and pushed into the rotting flesh. He was crushed.
Well, that won't do. I'm going to whip my book out again, and I'm going to cast Prestidigitation and create a consistent puff of wind that blows all of his stank away from us.
In what direction?
Towards us.
Well, there's only
Directly
one
back.
All right, yeah. You guys, Asterian Warrior, you start to smell that. Sir, you're already close enough to smell the corpse at this level, so it's no different for you. But War, you're sniffing some serious corpse here. It's not great.
It got farther away, but it suddenly got stronger.
It did. It suddenly got stronger. Valfine, I didn't give you a chance to do anything of your own volition. What would you like to do?
She kind of looks at Valoria, sideways glancing, and then, is there anything I can see on the large statue from here?
From here, it's not so good. You could get over to this corner, and you might want to already if you want to complete your to figure out exactly what maze.
Even with my dark vision?
Oh, with your dark vision. Let me see. Yeah, from here, actually, no, you can see it pretty well. It's just the fact that they're being distanced. Like, you can see it, but you can't see immaculate detail because they sitting all the way across, and you only see mostly the top of it too, because this is a 10-foot platform, and yeah, you can't see it as well. But if you want to just make a check from him right here, by all means.
Well, before I make any checks, is there anything above the bowl?
Above the bowl, yeah, looking up onto the ceiling, you see just the ceiling of the temple itself, a few cracks in areas where the last light of day is pouring through, and probably a lot of vines, maybe some cobwebs.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, it's make a perception check for me.
Live percent. Okay.
Yeah, just make that perception check for me.
Whisper
You're looking
again.
around, yeah. Is this an active thing you're doing, or are you just taking a peek?
Oh no, this is
No.
active.
Oh, this is active. This is what you're doing. This is your action. All right, go ahead and make perception check.
God damn it!
Yeah, you're looking around, and you see exactly what I described to you. Anyone take a guess at what he rolled?
Just a hint. It's in red.
Natural 20. I believe that.
Yes, yes.
Asteria, what would you like to do? You're near all these coins on the floor, and you probably have to be wary of them because you could slip up as they're kind of resting on the side of this these steps as well.
I guess I will look inside of whatever that bowl is.
All right, from here, yeah, I think from here it's a little difficult. It'd be better to be here, but yeah, if you want to try to make a peek from here, make a check for me. It's gonna be a perception check.
I guess I'll try and move first.
Okay, yeah, go for it. Let me see that intel or whatever the investigation check that you were doing before to try to deal with this.
Asteria, be careful.
In that first.
Ooh, okay, yeah, you're adding a D4. Yeah, you cast the guidance on yourself. What does that look like?
With mine, it is a like golden crown looking thing, but all just looks like tattoo of gold.
Ooh, on your head. I love that. Yeah, just go. We can only see it just across your forehead. Your hair covers the rest. I love that. Go ahead and roll. And you can do that one in the open. Okay. You doing the guidance?
There you go.
Yeah, well, you can tell that the spell, like, you're getting in a much more complicated area, and you can tell that the spell is helping you. You're getting that guidance from your patron, from your companion, and you are able to move that extra step. You are in the maze is hyper complicated at this point, but you are able to make that step right next to it. You can look into it without having to make a check. Yeah, looking up and in, you see very much what I've illustrated here on the map. You see, looking in, a pile of silver coins, and on top of them, these beautiful gems of different gemstones of different colors, a hoard of treasure put here in this offering in this offering base bowl, and you can see sort of the art, the symbols going all the way around the edge of the bowl as well. And if those interest you at all, do they?
Yeah, they will.
Yeah. They show many people sort of lining up to this very statue, to this very shrine, and pouring in offerings. And you see that the statue where you see the monkey now, this huge monkey, it's not a monkey in the illustration. Make a religion check. And you're an archaeologist or an anthropologist?
Anthropologist.
I'd say you could make it with advantage since this is kind of up your alley. Yeah. First, you know that it's definitely not the monkey statue standing behind the offering bowl in the illustration. It's an illustration of Ubtao. In his human form, and you can tell that the way he's sort of illustrated, he's a living thing, not a statue. And he's got a smile, that same sort of pose, that smile as people come in and offer their the wealth, riches into the bowl. So yeah, you've traversed the maze. You've been able to peek inside. War, what are you doing?
Continuing to try to traverse the maze.
Catch up with Asteria. Yeah, please.
Do you want a private or public? Should I ask
No, public's fine for the maze.
Okay.
Let's see, how many are you in?
Natural 20.
Natural
Can I have
20.
some of those?
Yeah, you can move 2 squares. Yeah, you are able to completely hone in. You kind of clear your mind of that weird thing that you saw. Did you even see it? You don't know.
Yeah.
And you're able to move forward.
Are there stairs on any side?
On any side of this altar, there isn't, but the altar's not even, I would say, 4 feet off the ground. It's easy to climb on top of it, and the maze does not appear upon it.
Okay. So moving 2, I could go
You
here.
could get up
here.
there, yep, and you would no longer be on the maze. So yeah, we see War step up onto the top of the altar. It holds his weight well. You imagine that people have probably stood atop this altar before. No big deal. And you're there. Did you want to look inside of the pot? Did you want to examine the offering bowl?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you see the same things I described to Asteria, this host of gems, beautiful as they are. You imagine it was easy enough for this thief to be enticed. You don't even know if he walked the mazes or what happened to him or what the deal is, but about half of the bowl's silver is just spilled out onto the floor. A few gems as well, kind of scattered below Asteria's feet. Yeah, and you're able to look at that. Did you want to say anything to Asteria?
Yeah.
Discuss?
So I would be careful. That statue may have done a thing to that guy. The positioning would line up well.
You say that to Asteria?
Yeah.
Do you say anything back, Asteria?
Oh, I was planning on putting the coins back.
Ooh, okay. We'll see how that goes.
He does look crushed.
Iku goes, what's in there? More
Off-
coins?
More coins and gems offerings to Ubtao.
She says, oh, how much?
A lot?
She says, oh, and it survived that far out here. Quite the prize.
Be careful, the sky is very broken and very flat.
Who?
This corpse standing in
Oh, this
front,
corpse,
not standing
yeah.
in front of me, it's
the
laying in front of me.
Yeah, you say that. Valoria, you're right next to Valfine. Would you like to do anything?
I'm going to add to that. And yet, still teeming with life.
Yeah, we have you to thank for that.
Yeah, you
oh,
see all the
those were
bugs.
there regardless.
All the bugs still crawling out of them. It's pretty gross. Do you just watch your friends, Valoria, or did you want to take any kind of action?
Oh, I mean, if anything's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong right now. So I'll stay well out of
Did
the
you
heart.
want to ready anything? Did you want to have something prepared? Like if you're waiting for something to happen.
Do I have an abandon my friends spell?
No, but you can ready an action to run if you want. Like you can always ready an action since we're working on initiative.
You know,
I was ready in action to run.
You're good?
yeah, I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good.
Valfine, did you want to get to the other side of... That's the last thing I heard from you, is you wanted to get to the other side of this statue.
You didn't hear anything like that? Because I don't want to be anywhere near that giant thing.
No, nothing, nowhere near him. So
Do I see Asteria reaching down, or is that not happened yet?
Asteria reaching down. Yeah, she looks like she's getting ready to pick up coins, for sure.
I'm gonna pull out my bow and knock an arrow.
All right, yeah, you just
Without saying
ready.
anything.
So do you mechanically, do you want to ready an attack action?
I would like to ready an attack action.
Yeah, that- you
Let's
can use
hope
it
it's
as a
not an
reaction.
8 this time.
I might as well do the same thing.
Okay, yeah, you want to ready like a ray of frost?
I'm gonna ready a ray of frost.
Nice. Asteria, you are bending down to pick up these coins.
Yeah, to toss back in the thing.
Let's
All right.
miss the dead guy this time, Alexandria.
You begin tossing them back into. You pick them up in handfuls. You grab a couple. We hear the coins sort of sift against the stone. You pick up a good chunk in your hand and you pour it back into the bowl.
Yep.
Make a perception check. to me. You see something, not in the temple, but behind the statue, far out into the jungle behind the temple itself, a glint of red, and you spot something that you didn't notice before. A statue, another one, behind the temple proper. You see what looks like a serpent emerging from the jungle, a pristine obsidian black statue, its mouth gaping wide open. You can see that it's well worn from the jungle, similar to this temple, but it is not of that age at all. This is a more recent installment. Pouring forth, it's covered in these vines, but pouring forth from its mouth almost ominously, these vines curl out and begin to crawl towards the temple. And you look now over the altar, and you see that even now the vines, the smaller vines, are beginning to wrap their way around this monkey statue. They are all natural vines. These are all things that are, as well, you don't know about the statue, but the vines themselves look to just be jungle vines, but they are ominously breaking their way into the temple. This is something you see as you begin pouring these coins in. You want to use your action to get them all in the bowl?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. You pick up every last piece of coinage. I will actually ask, because that's a little bit to do. War, would you help her?
Yeah, kind of like if he's up on
Yeah.
a thing, he would like grab it from her and
Yeah.
do that.
You
Yeah.
guys together pour all of the silver coins back into the bowl. And Iku doesn't say anything, but if anyone's looking in her direction, she has a smile and she crosses her arms as she watches you guys do this.
Oh,
Gloria.
and I add one of my own silver coins.
Oh,
I was
you
gonna do that too.
Yeah, you guys both minus a silver coin. You both add one in. Valoria, are you doing anything? Just holding that action?
Well, I didn't see anything about the vines, and they're just
Oh,
putting coins
I
in.
mentioned the vines too, but I'm continuing my action.
Yeah, you mentioned everything that I just said about the statue out in the jungle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to be any way to get to it.
Iku would be confused. I think she would turn, she'd say, "What statue? Serpent? What are you talking about?" And you point in the direction?
Yeah.
And you would see, Valoria, you see Iku move back behind these pillars towards the damage in the back. You can do the same if you want to follow her.
Yeah, I'll hasten my way over there.
She'll look over, and the statue is down a small cliffside, only about 20 feet down or so. Styria was able to spot it from her vantage point. Iku looks, she says, "Oh, what in Ubtao's name is that?"
Another dead god.
Says, "No, I need to get a closer look." And she will begin climbing down. Valfine, are you doing anything? Did you want to be near this?
Valfine is keeping her eyes and ears open,
Okay.
right where she is.
All right. Did you want to make are you looking for something, perception check or anything?
Do I hear anything changing, shifting, moving in the room?
Do you want to use your passive?
Well, it's passive this time.
Okay. What's your passive?
16.
16. You hear the chinning of the coin into the bowl as Asteria and War get the last bits in. War, you probably turn to as you're helping Asteria, you might finish. You turn to see that same odd statue, this ominous, horrible viper making its way from the wilderness. And as you get those last couple coins in, it might pique your interest. Valfine, around you don't hear anything, but you feel like just a sense of uneasiness. For sure. Do you stay where you are, holding your position?
Just gonna hold position with, yeah. as she was. Hey guys, I really don't feel right about this. I don't think you should go over there.
Asteria, would you like to do anything? You finish with the coins. You pour them all in.
I guess I will jump up on the platform with War.
Do you guys put your own coins in?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
we both did.
As you pour the last couple coins in and your coins with it, War and Asteria, you feel something. I think the exterior, your light around you seems to play with the shadows, and the statue of Ubtao, for a moment, both of you notice, seems to light up in almost a divine way, like a approving way. Just for a moment, it's almost as if like the sun hit it just now, like it flashes at you a little bit, and you feel, and you breathe and breathe out, you feel lighter. Not lighter now. You feel as though you could be lighter if you wanted to. For some reason, you know it would only last a short amount of time, but you feel as though you could achieve flight. But only momentarily. Just something blesses you. And I think you can identify it as that. The holy ground around you has approved of your action.
Does it feel like that feeling is going to persist?
You feel, yeah, I think you feel that it will. I think it's just something like inside you, and you're kind of like holding it down.
Okay. Looking at
like a fart. Yeah, just kind of like I was gonna hold this for a while.
Well, at least we can't smell it over the dead guy.
So looking at the statue, you said seeing the vines come out of the like mouth over here, and
yeah,
they go all the way up to the statue and are like covering it.
No, it's just beginning to wrap. Like it's barely just made it, but you can see those tendrils of the vines just beginning to snake their way towards the statue.
Okay, so they're still like out here.
Yep, they're still out. They're still out here, but they've just started making their way into the thing, and they are directly growing towards the statue of the monkey.
So when you say growing, do you mean like
moving now?
time?
No.
Not
Okay.
visibly.
You imagine over time naturally growing.
All right, because I was getting a little lost there because sometimes it sounded like they were just naturally there, but other times
they're not magically growing before your eyes. They are still vines.
That's a good
Is
thing to
that
clarify.
is the snake any kind of like religious figure that I've heard of or something, or is
Iku's
it?
trying to get closer. You could try to make a check right now from where you are, but when it comes to these statues, details are everything. So you can just see a snake. You see a viper.
Okay.
Did you want to try to make your way out of the maze?
Yeah.
And do you just walk over it, or do you still walk the maze out?
Probably still walk the maze out.
All right, yeah, you can put yourself here. You can do that first one. Go ahead and make a check. You're deep in the maze, so it's still the harder DC. Okay, yeah, you're able to make it. It's difficult, for sure, but you are able to make it in that first square. Asteria, did you want to move too?
I'm gonna stay in the maze for
Okay.
now.
Okay. Iku begins climbing down.
Are there any like torch sconces in this room?
Really, really old, rusted ones on the pillars.
Okay, just wondering.
They've long lost their wooden torches that they once held. Ika's making her way down. Valoria, are you joining her? You guys are right next to each other in initiative. Or do you stay up here?
All right, so
Iku looks, she says, I could use some help. It looks a little rough.
hold that thought. I'm going to reach into my sack and I'm going to pull out something I haven't used before.
Okay.
It's a sling. And I'm going to take a stone from the floor I'm gonna put it in that sling.
Well, what are you doing?
Well, curiosity gets the better of me sometimes as I start to wind it up.
And she's like, we don't know what that is.
No,
And you're
but
just
we're
going
gonna
to throw
find
something
out.
at it?
Oh, well, if it's a statue, it's not going to do any harm.
She looks a little nervous.
Is there something you want to tell me, Iku?
She says, no. No, I mean, look at that thing. It looks evil. I want to get closer to it. I just don't... we're on hallowed ground. I don't know if that ground could be desecrated. Things... Gods see a lot of things, Valoria. And I want to make sure that you're not going to get yourself cursed.
I'm gonna stop swinging the sling now.
Thank you. I'm superstitious, I know, but I like to take caution when dealing with things like this. I want to make sure that this is not a statue of what I think it is.
And I guess I'm just gonna follow her down at that point, but I'm going to ask what she thinks it is.
A very bad omen. And yeah, you follow her down to the base. You can put your token somewhere around her if you want.
Okay.
Here she's climbing down the vines that are spilling forth from its mouth. Valfine, holding.
I'm gonna move to the other set of stairs. Out and around. I'm not gonna even touch the red paint.
You still got that. Okay, yeah, you move all the way around. You hear a sound when you move outside.
When I move outside,
Just a clicking.
do I see it?
You look around, make a perception check. Just to
Do I
Or-
passively see it?
Yeah. You look around and you feel for one moment you spot what War was talking about on the top of this, as you're stepping up the stairs here, at the top of this monkey statue's head. Just for a moment. And it's like your vision blurs and it's gone.
There is something going on here.
uh, yeah, you're not sure.
This is not good. Hey,
Uh,
War?
What do you say to War?
What is it you said you saw?
It was a small man made of shadow with a bone mask that made him look like a small dinosaur of some sort.
So either the alcohol from 3 days ago is just now kicking in, or you're not crazy.
You saw it too.
I did. On top of one of the smaller statues over here.
It appears to just be watching for now.
I blinked and it was gone.
That was my experience as well.
Really?
Wait, let me see this gift. Oh crap, it's opening in the wrong thing. I just want to see this gift that you posted. What is this? Oh my god. Yeah. You can wonder where these might be inspired from. Was written by Pendleton Ward. Anyway, so Valfing, yeah, you say that to War. Asteria, you're standing your ground?
Yeah, this means that nothing can charge me probably because I'm pretty sure this maze is a pretty good protection.
Cool. Make a perception check for me. Or what's your passive?
10.
10. Make a perception check for me. Alright. You hear, and you look over. Was it coming from the bowl? and there's nothing there. Just as you left it, but the sound echoing, and you're definitely sure it was coming out of the bowl. Do you do anything? Start digging through there.
Nah, I'm not gonna dig for it.
Oh. War. You're continuing your trek.
Yes.
Go ahead and make a check. See if you get that nat 20, you'll get right out.
Nope.
I'm gonna sit on this edge though.
You are able to step out. Yeah, you're able to make one. You see the maze getting easier, less complicated as you get out to these outer rims.
Would it put me out at the entrance
It would put you in one of these squares, a square you'd like to go into.
Well, I'm just saying in general, like, if I get to this point, should I be following?
You would be climbing down a
entrance
10-foot escarpment. Yeah. You might want to go back in that direction because you would be falling 10 feet.
Yeah.
You want to head this way?
I'm gonna do that.
Cool.
Because that's where the entrance was anyway.
All right, Iku. You help Iku down. She seems a little bit fragile in this moment, climbing down. Like, she's pretty small framed, but you help her, Valoria, and you get her on the ground. You're taller than her, yes? I think.
I think so.
Yeah, I think you are. And she sort of pats you on the shoulders. Thank you. Let's have a look at this. She steps forward and she has her staff out in a defensive position. You see a spell charged, ready, just in case.
Can I use my arcane skill to identify what that spell is?
Yeah, go ahead. Make a Arcana check.
Because depending on what she's readying is going to make me a lot more scared, or public or
public's fine. You think that she is charging a spell of detect good and evil.
okay.
As she gets up close and she's walking cautiously. Are you behind her or are you keeping a distance?
I'm going to keep a distance. The only thing that's going to keep me from backpedaling a little bit out of extra caution is the fact that I don't want to feel like I'm abandoning her.
Yeah. She lets the spell loose, high, close to its mouth, and you watch as it sort of ripples around like an orb around this vicinity of the statue back into the jungle where it's hidden, and it starts blue, it starts like a white color, and then as it sort of burns its way over in like an orb around it, it turns red, and she says, "As I thought, this is an evil statue. And I can only imagine it being of one deity. This is a statue of Dendar, the Night Serpent."
I happen to enjoy snakes personally.
Says, "You would not enjoy this one." And she steps back, satisfied that the statue itself doesn't seem to be imposing any actual magical... I think she'll say that. She says, "I don't think this statue truly does anything other than to insult this place. Nothing magical, but it is freshly built." Says, "My guess is that the Yuan Ti were here." She looks at you. Do you look confused?
I don't know what the Wanti are.
Do you want to make a history check?
Considering the context, I think I'm going to try and suss that out through religious.
Ooh, yeah, go for it. You can do it just in open or to me if you want. I think open's fine. No one else is trying to do it too.
Would Iku be able to explain that?
9 religion. Oh man, you've heard the word, but you are confused a little bit of it. Like you heard of Yuan Ti.
I mean, personally, I'm a green tea kind of girl, but
Iku laughs a little bit and sort of lightens the mood just a little bit. Walking away, she says, "No, help me up." And as you're climbing up with her,
yeah,
she says, "The Yuan Ti are a myth. well, to most people. To those who are smart, they believe in the boogeymen of Chult. Says snake men. Souls who have sacrificed themselves to an elder god, one of evil.
Like our
Dendarden
snake friend.
says, yes, much like our snake friend here. The effigy is of no doubt Dendar, the Night Serpent. She is one of the worst gods, if not the worst. She is the darkness that will one day blot out the sun. She will devour it, and that will be the end of us all. The Yuan Ti believe in this creature, believe that she will return one day. But she was sealed in this very land by Ubtao's hands himself to keep the sun from going out. And she sort of says this tale as she walks in, and you can all hear it as she looks over to the statue, the monkey statue, kind of grins, says, with one hand he clasped it around her mouth and used her tail to tie it shut, and buried her deep beneath a willow tree. There she stays for all of time. None wish to awaken her but the Yuan Ti. For it is in the endless night that they will achieve their goal, domination of this world.
Don't you find that a little concerning?
She says the Yuan Ti are seldom. Though this statue does not bring me joy. It means that some still exist this far north. Men are greedy, willing to sacrifice themselves to become these creatures. They can breed and spawn.
Well, I suppose I pull out my tome, flip to one of the pages I use for taking notes, and jot down a few bits of information. If we ever run across a willow tree, I'll be sure to run the opposite goddamn direction.
She laughs. She says, most of the story was simply metaphor. I do not know if that battle even existed, but in any case, Dendar the Night Serpent was sealed away, whether by Ubtao's hands or some other gods.
Well,
I would not worry. She is as dead as, well, unfortunately, Ubtao, I imagine.
forgive me if I don't find that comforting, considering we are standing on ground hallowed by this supposedly dead god.
She kind of like thinks for a moment. Yes, that is concerning. Asteria wanted to say something. I want to go down this list. We've been stuck on Valor and Iku. Valfine, are you doing anything?
What's the chamber we're in? Do we have high walls, or are we just on an altar out in the middle of nowhere?
Listen, these are high walls that lead up to a ceiling, and yeah, this altar is. I mean, this place seems seemingly in the middle of nowhere.
Is there anything written on the wall that could be important?
No, did you want to search the walls?
Yes.
For any kind of writing? Yeah. By all means. Make a investigation check.
Open or closed?
Closed. What carvings you're able to see? You're unfortunately unable to dig up any meaning behind them. They are well damaged and weathered. This building has not done well over the ages. You're unable to find any kind of scribblings on these walls. Seem just around you. If there was, it was it's long gone. Unfortunate. Asteria.
I am going to cast Sacred Flame inside of the serpent's mouth to burn out the vines growing out of it.
All right. Roll some damage.
Oh.
right, 6 radiant damage. We watch behind Iku and Valoria as right at Iku's feet and sort of curling around. Oh, actually, no, it's right at the mouth. We see this burst of radiant flame as Iku turns around, like ready to like fight the statue. Like she's definitely wary of it, and she turns and sees its radiant flame, and then looks to see your hand, you casting it. Gloria, you might have a similar response as that just sort of comes out of nowhere, and we watch as the vines burn and it travels all the way up to Iku's feet, and she, after calming down for a moment, Iku would turn to you, Asteria, and say, "It looks like some are more superstitious than even I." Says, "I think we have discovered all that we can of this place. It would make a good spot for us to camp for the night, to at least weather any storms that might be coming. What say all of you? It's hollowed ground."
What?
There is a thing in here.
"A thing, you say? I heard you speak of it before."
I've also seen this thing.
"You too?" She looks over to you, Valoria. "Do you think they're going mad?"
Well, the turtle's definitely unstable, but I don't know. I feel like I trust Valfine on this one. I haven't seen anything.
Says, "I have not seen anything either. If you are more comfortable, we can camp away from the temple. Is that more suited to all of you?"
I think it would be smarter in this case.
"So be it. I hope it does not rain." And Iku's sort of making her way through War. You don't have to roll. I think that if you want to dedicate yourself to finishing the maze to get out, you can get out.
Okay.
Asteria, I think you can do the same. We're no longer in an area where I think it's too huge. If you're dedicated to getting yourself out, you got yourself in. You can get yourself out in the same way, and you guys can step away from the temple itself. You guys are cool with camping in the outdoors rather than the temple? Close by. What's up?
The thing seems pretty harmless, whatever it is.
Oh, it is serious as that?
Yeah.
Seems pretty harmless, made of shadow, vanishes before the naked eye.
Says many things in Chult that weird. Vanishes in shadow. What did you see exactly? Can you explain to me what the two of you saw?
It was a small shaded figure. It was wearing a bone mask in the shape of a T-Rex.
It is hard not to see the smile on Iku's face. She says, you know something's going through her mind, but she says nothing. And she pokes you in the shoulder, Valfine. It would seem you two maybe have a little bit of luck on your side.
Luck?
What is that?
Not everything is dangerous in the jungle. And some things you have to find out for yourself. I would not worry about this thing you are seeing. And she steps down the stairs.
Well, if that's the case, I think I'm going to be camping where I don't have to be in the rain for one day.
Oh, are you staying in the temple?
Yeah.
I will stay in the temple.
I might just sleep on the altar.
Says some of us could stay out here in front of the monkey statues or near the canoe. I don't know how smart it is for us to be at a distance. There could be something that a pack of raptors, let's say, who come and attack us in the night, and being far away, one of us could get dragged off. We should pick a central location. At the very least, I would say if you're not sleeping inside the temple, it would be smart, in my professional opinion, that you have paid so well for, would be to at least camp outside here. She points in the sort of courtyard.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you guys can. Where are you guys all? Iku's gonna be in the temple for sure. Valfine, it sounds like you're gonna stay outside.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, yeah, you stay outside in front of the statues. Asteria, how about you?
I'm gonna just sleep on the altar. It's big.
Ooh. Okay, yeah, you just chill on the altar. War, what's your sitch?
Ward's gonna sit somewhere where he has a good view of everyone, and kind of, instead of going into his shell, he's gonna kind of meditate.
Ooh, okay, cool. Awesome. So yeah, you guys all start setting up for your camp for the night, to prepare for the day ahead of you, all in your respective places. Valorio staying inside, Iku staying inside, War's kind of halfway in the middle, Asteria's on the altar, and Valfine is out in the courtyard area. Now I have a question for you guys. Is our because this is important. Oh yeah, ominous music can stop.
Oh, and I cast alarm on the big broken hole.
Oh, yeah, you can do that. Cool. So,
Oh, well, that's perfect. I will also be casting alarm.
where?
Hmm.
Over here? Oh wait, I have two
With
more
the
entrances.
broken hole, I'll cover the other entrance that's close to us.
Cool. Yeah, you can. You guys, what does that look like? Are they different in any way? Well, actually, Valoria, I might have to describe yours for a moment. Asteria, depending on Asteria, what does yours look like?
Mine, when it starts, is I'm just sitting on the altar, and one at a time, like will-o'-wisp type glowing orb appears and drifts its way over and it marks a different spot and then fades away.
Oh. Kyle, I'll give you a chance to describe hers, but I don't know if it's going to be in the way as Valoria would be expecting. That's up to you.
Okay.
What does your spell look like?
Well,
It could just look how you want it. I'm just thinking of something.
so what she's gonna do is pull out her book, turn it to the page that she wrote down that morning, and she's going.
Something. Go ahead.
She's going to cast the spell, and the way she thinks to do it is she weaves shadows into a way that would allow, if anyone were to touch those shadows, to create the chimes and alarms that would wake her up.
Is this normal to her? Is this kind of like how she's cast this spell in the past?
She's never cast this spell before.
No. Okay, yeah, it comes out in that way, and I think it's interesting to you that it comes out kind of like that, in contrast to Asteria's own spell. The very cool. I like that. Shadows on one side, will-o'-wisps on the other. Very cool. So yeah, you guys cast those spells to ward off or be able to warn you if anything enters into your slumbering chamber for the night. Valfine, so as far as watch, I want to know if we have the same watch that we did before, which is Valfine in the beginning, and then War for second shift, Asteria for third, and Iku for fourth. Valfine, you're an elf, right?
Yep, high elf.
Technically, you can take over two of these, so it only has to be.
Yes.
Yeah, you can take over two of these, so it could just be Valfine, Asteria, Iku. What do you guys think? Are we cool with that?
It's fine with me.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
No problems.
Just
All right,
in
Valfine.
case.
What's up?
Just in case War wants to move the canoe up to, like.
Ooh,
here.
where are you putting it? Okay, yeah, that's a bit
Somewhere
of
around
a
here. You should carry it up.
heaving up the canoe. You got it. Yeah, perfect. It is up. The canoe's also looking a little beat up. It's at 45 hit points out of 50.
Oh yeah, because the crocodile thing, right?
Yeah, Valfine, did you want to, while you're on watch, did you want to be healing that?
Yes, mending with one hand, still looking at those stupid pages in the other hand.
Yeah.
Decipher.
Decipher, yeah. I think you eventually will be able to get it. You're like, oh, was that one the whole time? But yeah, go ahead and roll a 1d6, just slash roll
1d6.
1d6 to heal the boat. See how much your mending does.
Nice.
Oh, nice, yeah, full HP boat. Good boat. Oh god, I gave it plus 50 hit points. Nope, not that good.
No. You can do that.
All right. So you are all able to get rest. Valfine, you are pouring through your book for the first shift. Are you doing anything different on the second? Are you keeping? I mean, you're on watch. Are you keeping your eye out for anything? Using your passive.
Yeah, gonna keep eye out with passive.
All right. That's for 16.
Yeah, 16.
All right. Something you noticed during your shift It's dark. The night comes down. I mean, it's definitely dark, but you get a glint of color from the south, off the side of the little plateau you guys are on. You see a wall that you didn't see before, a stone wall, still dilapidated and worn, similar to how the temple is. Could be a portion of the temple you guys didn't see before. But you see it. It looks. There's no roof on it or anything, but it looks thoroughly caved in. But there is this ruin left in the jungle over here. You might want to note to your friends in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something to say. But excellent. Let me get another less ominous jungle. Okay, here we go. Morning breaks. You are undisturbed. Each of you wakes up. Aloria on the top of the altar, maybe a little uncomfortable. But
I had a bedroll. We're good.
You all awake. The Valfine, I think you see, and this is the same for all of you. You guys see the sunrise hit these monkey statues outside and inside as they sort of lighten up, and it's interesting. They seem more like statues now than they did last night. You think maybe the dark shadows and the eeriness of nightfall might have made this place a little more eerie, a little more magical to you, but things seem a little more solid tonight. The paint on the floor looks a little more dried up, not as fresh as it did before. Everything seems a little more dull, a little more natural to just being, this is a building that got ruined in the middle of the jungle. And yeah, Iku awakens. How are you guys eating this morning? How's food for the day? You guys recovered. Yeah, you guys all spent food yesterday. We'll do rations when we do travel. But yeah, she awakens, readies herself. What does your guys' morning look like for the rest of you? Starting with let's start at the top of the initiative, Valoria.
I think the rest of my morning is disassembling the alarm and then seeing about drinking some. I'm going to look at my water skin, which is depressingly low. And then I'm going to look at my horribly well-stocked alcohol, and I'm going to drink some of that with my breakfast.
Ooh, morning drinker.
Yeah.
Just hitting the bottle.
Nice. Get some tej in you, that nice honey mead. Starting to get stale. It's been a few days, but still good. Very good. Valfine.
So she went up for 2 shifts, right?
Yep.
Beginning and end, I assume?
Yeah, and you saw that wall to the south.
Okay, so she's... Can I see anything in the architecture of that looks familiar?
It looks like a dilapidated wall of a similar kind to the temple. You see a couple monkey motifs still, but it's a lot more ruined. It did not do well. This place stood for the most part because it's on top of this plateau. The jungle wasn't able to get to it as well, but this was down in the jungle, and it's kind of messed up pretty bad. Like, there's no roof. It's just a wall hanging there. It's surrounded by jungle foliage.
Well, it's only about 80 feet away. Can I see anything behind the wall or through it?
Yeah, make a perception check.
God damn it.
Nah, man, that wall's blind. It's too much jungle foliage. Like, it's too hard to see anything behind it. You'd have to go down there. Is that part of your morning? Do you ask the party? Are you curious?
Since she can't see anything, there's probably a book in front of her face. She's gonna get up and calmly start strolling that direction, not in any kind of hurry.
Okay, yeah. Valfine starts heading down the stairs in the morning. It looks like she has a destination. Any of you react to that? Because I mean, that's somebody leaving the vicinity. She might just be heading down to the beach.
If Warren notices, he'd probably be just keeping a distance. But
are you trying to sneak away, Valoria, or are you just walking down? Really?
I'm just walking, not trying to.
Anyone can see her. And Asteria, you can get out of the maze in the morning if you want and follow it, or not follow it. Up to you. Let me know.
Wait, she's going down to the water, right?
Yeah, she looks like she's heading down to the water, but I think when she gets to the bottom of the stairs, she takes a quick turn.
I'm going to follow her, because I have trauma with water, and water scares me.
Okay, yeah, you
So-
follow Valfine. Asteria, how about you? Did you walk through the maze this morning?
Yes.
Cool, you kept it. Nice. Very nice. War in Asteria in the morning. That feeling still persists of feeling light, and you still feel as if that's something you can use. Yeah, I won't. Yeah, I think we're good. No, whatever. It's been a day. You've both been gifted the charm of flight. You can cast fly one time, and it will last for 1 hour on just yourself.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, all right, have fun. I'm gonna go walk this maze.
Well, that's pretty good. They haven't said anything, so unless you guys say something.
No, I'm just overcome with a desire to make sure I do everything that
That's
can
pretty
be done. I'm rolling. I'm going for it. I'm lost. I get frustrated. I go back outside.
I'll give you guys the mechanic. But if you like, that's up to War and Asteria. If you wanted to ask your friends, like, hey, take the challenge of the maze, and see if that does anything for them, you could. You've got no idea. You have no idea how that even happened. It could have to do with the coins that you put in, returning the coins. It could be your own coin. It could be, the way you made the way through the maze. There's a couple different paths. You have no idea.
War probably would only mention it to Iku because he knows she's a follower of Ubtao.
She would smile, I think, and she would say, "Ubtao's blessings look down well upon you, my friend." Says, "When the time is right, perhaps he will smile upon you again." And Asteria and War, you see Valoria and Valfine starting to make their way into down the stone steps to the temple, and they look like they're following the perimeter of this. They're leaving. They're going into the jungle to check something out for sure.
Where are you two going?
He calls down from the top of the plateau, top of the stairs.
Yeah, Valfine's kind of zoned in. She doesn't like being defeated by, especially something in a book. She's gonna keep walking, casually.
Yeah, Valfine doesn't say anything. Does Valoria?
Well, I thought we were going to the bathroom, but clearly we're on an adventure, so don't wait up.
Like, guess I should catch up.
Yeah, Asteria pushes past you, War, down the steps.
We should stay in a group.
Well, I call
agree.
out over the cliff. You're the one who's not with the group.
She says, "We're leaving the boat here. All right." And Iku's right behind. All right, yeah, you guys start making your way down the shore side towards this wall. It seems to have the shore continues past some rubble, and then the wall comes right up against the cliffside of the plateau itself. You imagine that this is your best entrance here. You guys make your way around the wall, or do you investigate the wall itself?
Can I spot any openings in the wall, or maybe handholds?
Make a perception check as you get closer. I'll start with Valfine and then move down the line. We're still in this initiative. 18. You see that the wall is broken in many places, that it would be easy enough to step over what remains of it. And I think with that perception check, you also notice something past the wall in the brush. You see just past the wall at this point. I know you can't see on the actual map vision.
I can't see anything yet.
A flash of color, what looks to be cloth, a tarp on the other side of this.
A tarp?
It's not the color of the jungle. It's like an orange, like a Chultan color, like a dyed cloth.
How much of it do I see?
You see like there's a lot of foliage, but you see like what looks to just be like a wall of it behind a wall of this cloth behind the foliage.
Can I hear anything near the cloth?
Your perception check does not give away any kind of you don't hear anything. Asteria, what are you doing?
Styria will wonder why someone set up a tent on the other side of this wall and continue forward.
Yeah, you want to head over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can totally do that. Go ahead. Go ahead and move your token. Beep, beep. I think as you make your way around the corner, you do see in an opening what looks to be a tent in the leftover mists. Where this morning we're sticking with the weather from last night, and I'll roll weather when we get back to travel. But yeah, you see in the mists, like just what's left of them lingering on the jungle floor, a tent that looks ripped and torn and a bit roughed up by the weather, but kind of like probably a little bit newer, like within the last month. You see this abandoned tent. War, what are you doing? Asteria probably calls back. Do you say something to your party?
Yeah.
Yep. What do you say exactly?
There seems to be an old camp around the corner here.
Old camp.
War would probably follow, and as he's getting close to the walls, he's probably like running his hand along it a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like mossy and wet with morning dew. Like it's pretty it's pretty dilapidated, pretty old. You imagine you probably run your fingers, your big claw fingers across some of the rocks, and a few small ones tumble out of the way. This wall's ready to go down at any time, really.
How new does the camp look?
According to you, Asteria, it looks pretty fresh. Probably it's ripped up. It's had to deal with some jungle. Probably that storm that came through recently. It looks pretty messed up, but still in the ground. You can see the pittons that kind of kept it there, but they're only like halfway up.
Any signs of camp? Any bedrolls? Any?
They're not in it just yet. Iku's following. I just want to give everyone a chance to do something as they approach. Iku's behind Valoria. Are you also?
Yeah.
Did you? Yep. All right, right behind Valfine. Your friends are all heading around the edge of this. Are you following them?
Just kind of shakes it off a minute and brings up the rear cautiously.
Okay, yeah. I will push you guys then on this next round over into the camp. It is definitely a camp. I'll pull all your tokens over. You see the remnants of a camp that probably one of what's the word? An academic of sorts. You see like
Oh boy.
yeah, some academics were definitely here. You see papers sort of strewn all around the floor, and they're kind of riddled. And I think as you made your way around the edge of the wall, you probably stepped on a few. There are just these ripped up, horribly indecipherable, messed up papers. You see what looks like an absolutely torn to shreds, destroyed campsite. Books are annihilated. Just sort of their corpses laying across the battlefield that was strung here, and yeah, you see tables flipped over, and yeah, you see very much the only thing the first thing you notice, there's no bodies from what you can see, and second, there are claw marks in the sides of these tents. They are torn to shreds. One of them in the back looks fairly intact for the most part, but it also is sort of ripped in some places. Asteria, what are you doing?
I guess I will wander forward and look inside one of these tents.
Okay, which one?
This one.
Okay, yeah, there's papers all over the ground, kind of riddling the floor, kind of stuck into the mud of the floor, kind of caked over, so just tons of sheets of paper that have been horribly damaged. And yeah, you peek into this one, it's like half ripped, and you look and you see what looks to be what's left of a bed, like a makeshift bed, like that probably was built from wood nearby, and a rolled out like bed mattress and like a fucking blanket, a red blanket. You see papers and more destruction, like a dresser tousled over, clothes ripped apart. And what's your passive? Make a perception check for me. Ooh. There, you look over towards the bed, and there's a body under that blanket, for sure. War, what are you doing?
As the stairs going up to that one, he'd probably go up here and kind of
Okay.
peek into the tent.
All right, yeah. You peek into the tent. You feel your feet as they walk over the muddied remains of the flesh of books. I'm just teasing my book nerds real bad. And yeah, you look inside this ripped tent, utterly destroyed. Whatever was here, brought here probably with great effort, and just tossed over, destroyed. But you see what looks to be like a host of pretty worn spears, a couple of shields on the ground, but for the most part they look a little bit. They're just kind of on the floor. They look a little bit roughed up, a little bit muddied up from the jungle. Rain and weather probably got in here, and most of them are fallen, like a barracks of sorts, like what was left of this.
Okay.
Iku is going to begin walking up. Says, "Oh dear," says, "I knew this would happen eventually. There are many who travel into the jungle and never return. Folks who wish only to learn, and they do not expect what the jungle has to hold for them." And she gets over here and starts to say a prayer. Says, and Chultan, and you imagine it's something to whoever died here, just to sort of consecrate their graves. Well, she assumes there's bodies. She can't see any, but Valoria.
Well, seeing what Iku's up to, she is going to take the time to cast Comprehend Languages.
Ooh.
So that she can listen in on the prayer.
All right. Yeah, you listen to the prayer. Ubtao, your servants have left this mortal realm to walk a maze of life of their own. May they reach you at the end of that maze and know enlightenment. They searched for it in life. It is my hope that they achieve it in death. And she will end it with, "Follow the maze as well, my brothers and sisters." And she ends the prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, I like that. Oh, I really like that. Because Ika didn't even know you understand. Valfing.
You said there's one intact tent?
One in the very back. It's still ripped up a bit, for sure.
Okay, so just gonna wander over there, probably check out, or peer in the inside.
Okay, yeah. Peer on the inside. Excellent. You look around the room, you scan, and it looks as ripped up, as torn as many of these. But Valfine, you're taken aback. There's someone in here. There's somebody. There's somebody standing in the corner near a desk. They're just standing there. They're standing there. They're moving a little bit, and they're looking over a writing desk. You see their arms are down. They wear what seems to be a fairly tattered red coat, and they have their hair tied back in a like this nice pristine brown hair tied back in a ponytail. And it looks a little roughed up. You see a few little hairs kind of like falling out, and yeah, you see them just sort of leaning on this desk, kind of hovering on like leaning on one leg.
At least they aren't bald.
They're not bald.
And they're not undead.
What would you like to do?
I'm gonna use a bonus action, dash forward, and I'm gonna try and grab them by the arm and hold it behind their back.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. Make an athletics. This is athletics. This is a grapple, so it'd be athletics.
Don't give me a 1.
Oh wow!
I rolled 0.
You go to grab, and the individual whips around and just puts his hand, boom, right on your shoulder, right between like your neck and your shoulder, and grasps you tightly. It is in this moment that you see that there is no flesh hanging upon his face. Roll initiative, everyone.
Oh man.
Womp womp. God, you're having the luck I had last time. It's because you touched me with that rope.
That's
It
two
transferred.
It's
Two.
it's
2 4s in a row for me for initiative.
Can I go to the bathroom before I get royally fucked?
Yeah. Well, our break is about to come up here in just a couple minutes. Do you want to get the first round out?
Probably a good idea.
Okay. You wanna go right now? If you need to go right now, that's fine. You can go.
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool. I need new initiatives, so I'm wondering if these reset themselves. War with 4. Yeah, they do. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
they do.
had 4 toys. But
Okay.
yeah. Did you do Ikus yet?
Yep, I'm about to do EQs.
Okay.
Very cool. All right. Very cool. Just making a couple of things here in private. Cool. All right. So the first thing that happens, War, you hear this. You hear does Valve make a noise?
I mean, she rolled a 1. She probably cried out as
Yeah.
was gripped on the shoulder.
And you hear that too, War, and I think like you maybe go for your weapon. As you do, as I told you before, the ground is just covered, cemented in like the mud thicket of papers. The papers burst up from the ground, and this horrible undead creature, this half-rotten blue coat, like halfway on, and this creature with the flesh barely hanging onto this arm, it just slides right off as this almost completely skeletal hand reaches out at you. War, this creature is going to lunge in your direction. It looks like that.
Whoa. I didn't know you could do that with the token.
Oh, I can show all kind. Yeah, I can show
That's
tokens to
nice.
everybody. So you just click to get rid of it. All right, War. I'm gonna do this in the open. That's okay. It is a public roll. All right, does that hit you?
No.
It lunges forward, and you step back. Valfine's scream makes you not surprised, which is nice. Valfine, I think I have to give you the surprise. I would have to give, if anyone here, you save your friends from being surprised, which is good. But you're going to lose your first turn because that was pretty bad. All right, so yeah, he goes to make a claw out at you, and he just rips into the tent behind you as you dodge out of the way. Asteria, you see this creature behind you. And I think it's enough that you see the bed begin to rile and wiggle as the bed sheet rips open, and you see one just right in front of you. And this one looks as though it had like long gray hair, was probably once elderly, and just like there's almost no flesh left on its face. Just what would you like to do? It's a woman.
Guess we're gonna go with radiant damage.
All right. You see, she has like a strap still clinging to her, still hanging to her back, and it looks to be like a book attached to it, and it's on her back, and that seems to have weathered. You want to make a roll?
Just attack roll, or?
Oh, it's radiant damage. Oh, you're doing. Oh, they need to make a dex save. Okay, cool. All right. All right. She does not make it. 8 radiant damage to her that burns. Okay, yeah. And yeah, you see the radiant damage crawl across her skin and burn away some of that bone. That's your action, Asteria. Do you want to do anything else?
I am going to
You can move around in the tent.
actually going to step back 2 and take an attack of opportunity.
Okay. And it goes to make a grab at you. Ooh, rolling low. Yeah, unable to connect with you as it rips its way up from the bed. Unable to do so. You get away. Iku will immediately bless the party. The 3 that she can see, Asteria, War, and Valoria, you are all blessed, so you can definitely place a blessing or checkmark the blessing thing on you. I'll mark the bless.
Streaming throws and attacks, right? Yeah.
Yep. And she says, "Prepare yourself, undead." And she, yeah, obviously. And Valfine, you are surprised, so you lose this turn. Valoria, but now you'll get your next turn. Valoria, what would you like to do?
Well, first thing I'm going to do, because I've fucking learned my lesson.
Yeah.
Actually, wait a minute. War's in front of me for once.
He is.
You know what? I think I actually won't do that. Instead, I'm going to take a movement here.
Okay.
I am going to wait until War's axe is in an arc behind him, like he's about to swing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to give it the gentlest brush of my fingers and let shadows and roiling energy seep into the weapon and enchant it.
Ooh, nice. War's weapon is enchanted. Oh, that's super cool. Oh, I love it. The shadows seep in. All right, cool. That's your action, your movement. You're good?
Yep.
All right. The one from this tent is going to move. It clambers out towards Asteria. Just lets out a horrible undead wail. It wants meat. It wants to eat. It's going to make an attack.
It wants meat. It wants to eat.
Does that hit you?
Yeah, that one will.
All right. Takes 6 bludgeoning damage as she just rips out of this tent, and the rest of you out there, Iku, Valoria, and War, see this creature lunge, this long-haired, skinny, probably once elderly woman, now undead creature, lunge out after your friend Mysteria and just rip a big claw into her, and you can see her draw blood. It is.
I rebuke her.
Oh fuck. All right. I'm going to spend the spell slot. What does that look like? You haven't done that yet, I don't think. Oh, she needs to make a dex save.
It's a burning out from where she touched me.
Oh, yeah. And just can't, like, handle it. Dex save.
Anybody else just get serious Left 4 Dead vibes from that noise?
Yeah.
Like, I
sounds like with the smoker.
She's able to resist some of the damage.
Yeah, the one that shoots the tongue out. That like
Yeah,
grabs
smoker.
people.
That's a smoker.
Yep.
Yeah. Could be a smoker, you don't know. What kind of zombies they tucked into this. So it only takes half damage, but yeah, it burns. War, what would you like to do?
So War's going to rage for bonus action.
Okay.
I should
Go ahead and mark something on your token for
That's
rage.
what I'm doing. Yeah.
It's fine. You're keeping track of your rage rounds?
Yes, I have a
Appreciate
counter on my character sheet for it.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. So doing that, and then primary action doing an attack. Does the enchantment thing do anything?
Ooh, +1. So just roll and just add +1.
All right.
And to the damage too. So it's +1.
Oh, okay. So it's like a +1 weapon. I see.
Yep.
I see.
It was magic weapon.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sweet.
Although the trail of black energy in the wake of your weapon might be a little
Jarring.
bit of a surprise.
Roll.
Alex, you're blessed. Oh god, you super hit.
Yeah.
It's 26. Yeah, go ahead and give me damage. Go ahead and give me damage for that, and you get
Alright.
+1 to the damage.
Yeah. Public roll.
Ooh,
Yeah.
and then the rage, so 11, 13, 14, 15 points of damage.
Wait, I got 13 out of that.
That's
It'd be
11.
14 from the weapon, I think.
11, 13, no, because 11, 12, you're right, sorry, I was counting wrong. Yeah, a hefty blow, which does quite a bit of damage to it. Oops.
And so as that happens, the Ancestral Protectors thing comes into play for the first time.
Ooh, what's that do?
So kind of stepping out of war will be two white spirits that kind of come out the sides and surround that thing that I just hit.
Okay, do we need tokens or no? Is it just a...
No, it's just an
cosmetic?
effect. That's cosmetic.
Okay, cool.
So until the start of my next turn, that target has disadvantage on any attack rolls that aren't me, and when it hits something other than me with an attack, they have resistance to the damage dealt by it.
Okay, so he is he's been ghosted. All right, yeah, we see them come out. What do they look like? Do you have details for them, or are they just more shadowy, kind of like hard to see, like vague forms?
For now, they're definitely turtles.
Turtles, yeah. Can they stay vague?
Yeah, for now, like
Yeah.
you can't tell what any super features yet, but they're
Okay,
there.
cool. I love it.
Let's
So
see
that
here.
one is marked. They must fight you, or take lots of disadvantages.
Along that, I think I'm also gonna move there.
Okay, cool. All right, yeah, you definitely do. All right, Valfine, I'm gonna put the one that's next to you on the token. It's gonna make a swing on you. Slam attack, public roll.
That one, yes.
You trip it to the ground, and it falls prone. You would have advantage on a melee attack. You are able to break away from its grapple on you, and it just falls to the ground. And if you did a rapier or a melee attack, you would have advantage of the strike.
Okay.
But it is this one's turn, and yeah, war strikes into it, and it just fucking comes at you. Just horribly, and it like moves in just these quick, jutting, unnatural manners. So it will make a attack on you. You were able to just like
Yes, I passed off my luck.
yeah, you were able to just like shove this thing off of you. It is unable to connect with you at all. I think it even I think you're just able to shove it off of you, and it can't even get near you. And like, yeah, no, I got this kind of situation. Asteria, would you like to do anything? You have two of them next to you. You walked out into one, and then there's just one crawling back into you. You're getting surrounded.
I'm gonna use one of my new cantrip.
Ooh.
I just slam my fist into the ground, and cracks of light come up in the square around me.
Yeah. Okay. All the 5 feet around you.
Yep.
All right. What is it?
And both of the undead take 1 radiant damage if they make
Okay.
their
Cool.
DC.
That doesn't affect your friend.
Nope.
Oh, nice. This crack of radiant light rips up through the ground, past the papers. We see them sort of flying around the battlefield right now, especially after that zombie ripped out. So 2 dex saves. Ooh. What's with my rolls? All right, one is going to take a point of damage, and I believe the other will take nothing. Which one? I will say it's this one. Oh, that takes it. Yeah, that light radiates. I think this one is too distracted with War's challenge. The spirits around him just trying to rip at him. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Cool. Iku's turn. She's like, nothing like a little bit of undead in the morning. And she's going to cast Sanctuary on you, Asteria. And that will make it so that anything that attacks you has disadvantage on doing so. Ka-ching! And you see that light soar around you. She says, "Where's Valfine?" And she's going to move over here. All right, nice. And it is Valfine's turn.
Okay,
Just in
now
time.
the roll for advantage is missing from the character sheet now.
Okay, so it will prompt you.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, well, okay. So if I...
So if you
okay.
roll an attack, it should say public roll, and then it should ask if it's advantage or disadvantage, and you should be
Okay,
able to select
second
that.
one. Okay. Okay, she's gonna kind of catch herself after that whole thing, and lucky. She's gonna pull out a rapier and go.
Go for the kill. In to win. We're gonna take a break after this turn. Rapier. Advantage. Nice. 23 definitely hits. Go ahead and click the word rapier to do damage. I know you don't get to do that very often. Go ahead and click the word rapier in chat, yeah. 6. Nice. Alright, so you didn't get sneak attack on that. It rolled it for you just in case, but you didn't get sneak attack. Oh, no, you did because it's advantage. You totally did. Nice. No, yeah, because if you have advantage in a roll, you automatically get sneak attack. So you drive that weapon in, dealing quite a bit of damage. If I didn't say so before, these two are hurt. They're bloodied. So yeah, you rip into that one with your attack and just can't. It's like pinned and it's trying to still grab at you. I think that's a good spot for us to take a break. 5-minute break. Be right back. See if Dustin will join us for our epic zombie academic battle.
Hey, what's going on in the tents there?
Hey, what's going on? It's me. I came back from the jungle.
I was taking a dump for a day and a half.
Watch him come back. He dies again. The curse!
He'll jump into the middle of the camp, and then all the zombies will just aggro him.